Sarah moved quickly through the crowded street, balancing a wooden tray of hot bread on her head. The afternoon sun burned her skin, and sweat rolled down her neck into her faded yellow dress. Her worn slippers slapped against the dusty road, but she didn't slow down. She couldn't. Every step meant survival. Her life had become a routine she never chose but could not escape. Every morning she rushed to the bakery, collected bread on credit, and spent the day selling it under the harsh sun. At night, she counted her earnings, sent most of it to her sick mother in the village, and survived on whatever little remained. She was a final-year university student, but hunger didn't care about education. Hunger only cared about who could eat. Fresh bread. Hot bread, she called, her voice cracking from exhaustion. Cars passed by without noticing her. Some drivers waved her away. Others ignored her completely. Still, Sarah kept moving, weaving between vehicles, determined to sell everything before the day ended. Then suddenly, a black Jeep slowed beside her. Her heart skipped. She instinctively stepped aside, expecting irritation. But the window rolled down, and a man looked at her calmly. He was clean, well-dressed, and completely out of place in her world. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated. "Sarah." "I'm David," he said. Then after a pause, "I need your help." Her grip tightened on the tray. "I need someone to pretend to be my girlfriend for 2 months." The word stunned her. "No," she replied immediately. She didn't need trouble. Her life was already complicated. But David's voice softened. "I'll give you a safe place to stay. I'll pay you every week. You won't have to sell bread anymore." Silence filled the space between them. Her mind raced. A safe place. Regular money. No more hunger. No more insults. She thought of her mother. Weak. Waiting. "I don't know you," she whispered. "You don't need to," he replied calmly. "Just help me." Her heart pounded. Life had taught her that nothing came free. But this felt like a door she might never see again. After a long pause, she nodded. Yes. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She sat on her thin mattress, staring at the cracked wall, replaying everything. Fear mixed with hope. Doubt mixed with desperation. Had she made a mistake? Or had life finally offered her a chance? The next morning, she stood outside a boutique, her heart racing. She had never entered such a place before. She almost turned back, but David appeared and smiled. "You came," he said gently. Inside, the cool air touched her skin. Everything felt unreal. Bright lights, beautiful clothes, soft music. When David told the attendant she could choose anything, Sarah froze. Anything? She tried on dresses, unsure of herself. Then she stepped out in a soft blue gown. David smiled. That one. For the first time in years, Sarah saw herself differently. Not as a struggling girl, but as someone who could belong somewhere better. Later, she moved into his apartment. The moment she stepped inside, she froze. The space was clean, quiet, and beautiful. Her room alone felt like a dream. She touched the bed slowly, afraid it might disappear. Then she sat down and cried. Not from pain, but from relief. The next day, she met David's father. The mansion was massive, filled with luxury she had never imagined. When Mr. Williams saw her, he smiled warmly. "She's beautiful," he said. Sarah forced a polite smile, her heart racing. Then came the question she feared. "Tell me about your family." Her throat tightened. Before she could speak, David answered. "They're wealthy and respected." The lie hung heavy in the air. Sarah stayed silent, even as guilt twisted inside her. Days passed and then everything changed. Gina, David's younger sister, discovered the truth. "She's poor," Gina snapped. "She sells bread. She's pretending." David remained calm. "I hired her." Gina was furious. "This will destroy everything." At school, Gina confronted Sarah publicly, insulting her without mercy. Students gathered, watching. Sarah stayed quiet at first, but Gina didn't stop. Finally, Sarah lifted her head. "Yes, I'm poor," she said calmly. "But I work for everything I have." The crowd fell silent, then erupted. For the first time, Sarah walked away with dignity. Days later, she returned to the streets. Her mother needed urgent surgery. The cost was impossible. She had no choice. Sarah. She turned. David stood there, shocked. What are you doing here? Tears filled her eyes. My mother, she needs surgery. How much? 10 million. David stared at her, then said quietly, I'll pay. She shook her head. No. You're not alone, he said firmly. At the hospital, he paid everything. The surgery was successful. Sarah cried, overwhelmed. For the first time, someone stood beside her without hesitation. That night, David faced his father. I love her, he said. You will not marry her, Mr. Williams replied. Then you don't know me, David answered. A business crisis soon struck the family. Nothing worked. Finally, David suggested Sarah. Reluctantly, Mr. Williams agreed. Sarah studied the documents carefully. Then she found the mistake and corrected it. The deal was saved. Mr. Williams stared at her, shocked. For the first time, he truly saw her. Everything changed. Months later, Sarah walked down the aisle in a white gown. The same girl who once sold bread under the burning sun, now walked with confidence and grace. David held her hands and whispered, Nobody could stop us. Sarah smiled softly. Nobody will. And for the first time in her life, she wasn't just surviving. She was finally living.